to the king, baby.
Tides of Tomorrow is the new narrative adventure from Digixart, following in the footsteps of the politically charged and beautifully designed Road 96. Road 96 was a really fun and at times eye-opening experience. I never got around to talking about it on the channel, but it was the first game that really built upon the groundwork laid out by Campo Santo with Firewatch. Road 96 is known for its story-driven, choice-based gameplay inspired by directors like Tarantino and the Coen brothers, featuring unique characters and intertwined stories that change with player decisions. Pretty much all of that inspiration, and even the focus on some sort of political belief as a major undertone for Road 96 was carried over into Tides of Tomorrow. In Road 96, it was an oppressive government through the eyes of teenagers trying to escape. And in Tides of Tomorrow, you are navigating a plastocalypse via Tidewalker, a person from before the flood who find themselves afflicted with a mysterious disease named plastemia, a condition that gradually turns living beings into plastic. Between the game's heavily polluted environments, the rising sea levels, and the multiplayer story-link feature built around the idea of what do I leave for the next person, the game aims to raise awareness about ecological issues without pointing fingers or judging individual behavior. Players are completely free to change nothing at all, but at least the question is asked, what will you leave behind? Before we dive into Tides of Tomorrow, I want to let it be known that I did receive a review key through Lurkit about a month after release. My opinion is in no way swayed by this fact. The question of what you will leave behind, as well as your choices, are main elements driving the adventure in Digixart's work. Your effect on the game and how it changes the narrative playing out in front of you. That's also where the story-link system comes into play. It's a way to implement the branching narrative strings present in Road 96 into an asynchronous multiplayer feature. The story-link system shapes your story based on your own actions and the choices of another player. When starting a new game, you must choose someone to follow, a friend, a stranger, a streamer, or even an offline pre-made save, because it's good to know that this game is playable without an internet connection. From the very first level, your scenario will differ depending on the player you choose to follow. The consequences of their actions have a lasting impact on your world. Story situations, level design, environment, gameplay, and even the characters you meet can change based on the story link you're following. As you explore levels, you can use the Tides of Time, a vision mode that lets you see what the previous player did before you. Even NPCs remember the actions of that previous player and mention them as if they were a character in your story. Each game generates an 8-digit story link seed that you can share with your community or friends so that they can follow your path. Players from your friends list who played the game will also automatically appear as followable story links in-game. You can change who you follow between each level of the game, but there's a big caveat that not a lot of people talk about when it comes to swapping who you follow. The system begins to break down a bit when you change destinations. The game feels jarring when characters don't react properly to you because the game's instance is different and based on different encounters. I mostly followed one player throughout the game, but when I wanted to deviate from their path and follow another, it would on occasion drastically alter the direction of my story. I was still able to continue with most narrative threads. They just didn't always click properly. Tides of Tomorrow is one of many examples of a game showing what you can do with the medium. It may not be perfect, but it is for certain a unique take on the choose-your-own-adventure style game. It's not a massive sprawling open world or a multi-layered RPG. Tides is a story-driven game through and through. It's essentially a playable book or film from a unique perspective. It has plenty of gamey elements, don't get that confused. And in fact, it has way more variety in gameplay than you'd expect, from stealth missions to piloting a mini submarine. Tides of Tomorrow is as narratively deep as you want it to be. The effect you have on the world is one that you will feel no matter what. The random encounters reminiscent of Wasteland keep it fresh, and all of the characters you meet along the way that show up time and time again help drive home the choice and consequence-driven narrative structure at play here. It's a deeply disturbing and even a very real cautionary tale about pollution and AI if you pay attention. And it's a uniquely beautiful world with an equally powerful soundtrack. I highly recommend playing Tides of Tomorrow at some point. If you enjoy a good narrative or a unique storytelling style, I think you should try this. It's a game that will leave you asking questions and wondering how things could have gone differently, and that really helps for replayability. If you like games akin to Firewatch, Killer Frequency, or even Grotto, I think you'll enjoy diving headfirst into this one like a good book or a gripping flick. Don't get lost in the tides, but instead embrace the ebb and flow of the waves. I'd like to thank Midnight Medium, Osh, Melancholy Geek, and John David as always for the support. And as always, the Forge is calling and I must answer. So I'll see you all when the next video has been forged. Good night and good luck.
Didn't think you thought I would forget. Then I looked at you and barely saw a friend. We can move on.